Hello, everybody. This is Zaxtorian, and we're back with Era of Survival after I just put out um, a video yesterday talking about the Era of Survival and the state of this game. Right after I put out that video, I don't know, 12 hours after I put out that video, something like that, this developer put out an update to his first game on Steam, a survival game, and he put out an update. And I feel like this update responded to a lot of my feedback and criticisms of the game. Says he's been quite an eventful 7 days since our launch. Mixed reviews through discussions, updates, and private chats with players. We spent a proportional amount of time processing and changing our game towards completion of this phase. So, he talks about some of the bug fixes that he did, resource balancing, improved picking up items, okay? Improved snapping a build system when you're building a base, which wasn't that, the base building wasn't problematic at all. He said he lowered your thirst so you don't get thirsty so quick. Speeded loading time. Placement didn't work when players tried to place items but weren't looking at the placeholder at the time. They removed the glass pane. The basic shelter's been removed. Durability and damage on items have been reviewed and edited. And it said, for the moment, we've added a barrier close to the edges of the map to prevent players from falling off. He said this will be replayed with unexplorable mountains later on. Okay, so I got feedback here for you on this developer. This right here, definitely pay attention to my suggestion for you here. Food has been resized to be spotted easier. Has anybody found the turnips? And pickaxe no longer cost stone. I think that's a definite change based on the feedback I gave him even in my last video about this way too much stone required to make a pickaxe. And new dam where you can fetch water. Okay. Change the wooden block and stone block. You now find a stick of wood to pick up. Same goes for the stone block. Map has changed. Rocks have now been moved and more terrain decor has been added. The walk through stones has been removed. Oh, yep, there we go. So the walking through stones, you can't walk through stones anymore. So it looks like this developer is actually trying. So I know in the last video I made just last night, I accused the developer of not even caring. Well, now he goes and shows that he actually gives a damn. He's also showing that they're going to have a creative mode and Instacraft and turn it on sheets. Closing off the spam. Yep, we are closing off spam jumping up the rocks. But the initial idea was for players to strategically use them to get away from hostile animals and people. So we're between disabling going up the stones completely or just prevent spam jumping up where there's not enough support underneath your character. We will by then be ready to okay, so I got some feedback here for you on all this developer, and since this developer shows that he cares with these updates and with this update on the game, I want to try to give him support. I want to try to give you support, Mr. Gene Gronwald, and help you make your game better. And that's really what I like seeing from a developer, is just that they care. I still say that I don't necessarily believe this here, that you've been in development for over 2 years. I don't see that. But now that I am seeing that you do care about your game, I want to go ahead and show you, my viewers, what's going on with your game, what I hate, what I would change, and my suggestions. I'm not telling you that, when I give you suggestions, hey, this is what you must do. I just try to give you ideas and suggestions on how I think you can make your game better. So when we go ahead and hit play now, guys, I like this because now the game actually comes up by default with the server, so you don't have to go and hunt this down in the files. It launches this immediately, and then you have a choice here to launch either a 32 or 64-bit version of the game based on what version of Windows you're running, 32 or 64-bit. So I have a 64-bit version of Windows, so I'm going to go ahead and launch the 64-bit version of the game. So here I'm just going to go ahead and hit play at this default Unity launcher. And we come up with the familiar game, intro screen here. I like that they took away the single player option here, because that's not even an option. It just says, hey, it's in development, so why even have it? I agree. So we have exit to Windows now. We have settings. Okay, so here on settings, we still don't have any kind of resolution or volume or anything like that. We need a volume slider here at least in the settings, not just the controls. And you should probably change settings to controls. This would be better labeled as controls because that's all this is controls. There are no settings here. So if we hit play here, guys, we start up with our host, and since we already have the game automatically launching the server, we should have no problems getting into the game. So I do like some of the changes the developer is making, and we're not going to spend a real long time here in this video, but already I'm seeing some things that I like more and more about this game. It looks like the clouds are moving a little bit more than what they used to. So the clouds look a little bit better, so that's an improvement. You could probably get better trees on Unity. Hopefully at some point you will get better looking trees. But one thing I want to show you guys here that we need to take off right away is when I move and when I stop here. Okay, see that motion blur? This motion blur is absolutely horrible. So I hope for the hell of God that, you know, we see sunflowers here. We can't do anything with a sunflower, but we can at least, yeah, see that motion blur when I start running or when I move real quick? Yeah, that motion blur needs to get removed. Here we pick up a stone, so we got a stone block. And now I'm hitting my, there we go. Okay, so if we break the stone block, we get 50 stone. Okay, sure. Yeah, I do like some of this stuff this developer's done. He's made some smaller mountains here, and now this is something that I believe we should be able to jump up, maybe to get away from the wolves or enemies that you're going to put in your game. But yeah, we should never be able to spam jump up something like this. That's just way too tall. But yes, being able to get up on rocks this size is good. So good thumbs up on this one. So we're seeing some improvements that I do believe are good changes already. So right here, guys, this is what I'm talking about. So at least he did make an invisible wall, so we can't jump off the edge anymore. The problem is just even being able to see the edge of this map here looks really bad. So again, here is what I want to show you guys to the developer of this game. So, all right, guys, so I had to close out of the game, and it took my computer like 5 minutes to quit lagging out. So a couple of things I want to go ahead and talk about here for this developer. So if we look at this, guys, some things that I'm concerned about here are memory leaks. Memory leaks are bad. So to the developer, yeah, if you have memory leaks in your game, this is important. You need to fix this. Now let's go ahead and talk about we should not. Please make it so we cannot see the edge of the map. Period. No invisible walls either. Okay. Okay, so this is stuff that we have to fix, guys. No invisible walls. We don't like seeing the invisible walls. That just looks bad. And then also, no motion blur. Period. When stopping, moving camera, or starting to run. So these are things that I believe the developer really needs to fix in the game. You have memory leaks, you need to work on this. We should never be able to see the edge of the map, period. And so one way I want to go ahead and show you how to fix that, the edge of the map. So right here, guys, let's go ahead and show you what I'm talking about here. Okay. So let's say this is his map right here, right? This is his world. This is our world right here. And to go ahead and show you what we're talking about here, we're just going to turn this down here. And this is our map, right? In fact, we're going to come over here and we're going to say game. In fact, we're just going to say game world. Fuck, if I could spell game world. So this right here is our game world, right? This is an area that we can move to. But what we want to do is we want to go ahead and take this and we want to make a bigger area like this, right? And this, guys, or to the developer, is the viewable world, but can't access. So this is the world that we can see from inside here, but we can't get here because this is going to stop us off. And so what is actually going to be this line that keeps us from moving into this green area? And the reason you want to have this bigger area is so that we don't see the edge of the world, right? So what are we going to have here that is going to keep us from getting out here into this green world? Well, my advice is to, like I said yesterday in the video, if we take a look back at Subsidence, one of my first plays of Subsidence, right here you see this big, tall cyclone fence. And something like that would work great. So if you see here, I'm looking there, but right there.
And what got me...
You see the cyclone fence right there. So see how at the very top of it, you got, that looks really cool. I think this looks good. I would do something like this. So I would make this cyclone fence right here be this line all the way around. And then what that allows you to do is see from right here, I can see the other side of the fence. I don't see the edge of the world. I can see the other side of the fence and I don't see that edge of the world, but I can't get over there because of the cyclone fence. And that needs to be your, this right here, this line here. And then this should actually be your mountains and trees and stuff out here. Just kind of like in this, in Subsidence. And that's what I would highly recommend for the developer of this game. So another thing in this game, guys, that that we was looking at, and I love how I can still hear him barking. Okay, you have to exit the window. Yeah, see the edge of the world. See how bad that looks. So I do like some of the stuff that he's doing here on my right here. So this here, this freaking rock, I don't like the look of this rock at all. So what I would recommend to this developer, right, is right here. So since he's using Unity, right, get rid of this fucking rock, right? And I think you should make a rock that you can mine for sure. But how about this one right here? And maybe you could even shade it different colors or whatever. This is free. You could get this rock right here for free. And it's right on Unity. I like this one here over that. But that's your choice. Another thing here, guys, that I would love to see this developer add to the game is right here. We have this world. We only have two or three wolves in this whole world. We need a variety of monsters. Hey, how about being the first survival game that I've seen in forever that maybe has a giant spider that comes after you? And maybe with the giant spider have webbed areas up, like maybe close to the mountains or something like that. Maybe even these spiders like the stone, or maybe they build up webs near the stone that you need to mine. I don't know, but maybe have spiders in the world, and maybe some of them have smaller. So like maybe these things have babies, and you could just resize this thing and maybe change the shading or whatever for little baby spiders that would move faster or come after you quicker or come at you in hordes or something. This could be really cool in the game, I think. Maybe something like this. Hey, it's just an idea. All I know is we need more enemies than just a wolf, right? And from this developer as well, you also have a bear that you could put in the game. You know, having a bear in the game would definitely be cool. And then you got chickens, and you know, you have different animals. But I would definitely put something like a spider or, you know, something else in the world that's actually a threat. A bear would definitely be a threat as well. So just give us something else to be fearful of, because right now with just two wolves in the world, there's really no challenge to the game. But yeah, that's it for this one, guys. I think that if we, put a cyclone fence around the edge of the world or something, what I don't want to see is I don't want to see the edge of the map anymore. We should not be able to see the edge of the map, and the invisible wall is really bad. So no invisible walls, no seeing the edge of the map. Turn off motion blur and look to make sure you don't have any memory leaks with your game. If you do all that, you're definitely making some good progress. And then, like I say, I would love to see, some other creatures make it into your game, like, the bear and perhaps a spider in your game. I think that could be really cool. So anyway, there's my suggestions for the developer of Era of Survival. Let's see if he takes these to heart. Let's see if he at least makes this map bigger so we can't see the edge of the world. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Be sure you comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Care.